She bought the mountain in silence. No road signs. No neighbors. Just trees breathing in the cold. Morning light slid over pine needles. Frost cracked under her boots. The air smelled clean. Almost forgiving. She had been a SEAL sniper once. Before medals. Before funerals. Before learning how quiet a life can get. The fence went up in one long day. Steel posts. Barbed wire. A simple warning to the world. Private land. Turn back. At night, the wind moved like memory. Branches scraped the cabin walls. She slept with one ear open. Always. The first tracks appeared at dawn. Boot prints. Heavy. Careless. She crouched. Touched the soil. Still warm. Poachers. She knew the walk. The confidence. Men who believed the woods belonged to them. Her radio stayed silent. No backup here. No commands. Only choice. She watched through the scope. Breath slow. Heartbeat steady. A voice drifted uphill. Laughing. Metal clinking. They won't notice the fence, one man said. Her jaw tightened. She remembered cities on fire. Orders whispered in the dark. This was different. This was hers. A deer bolted. Leaves exploded. Someone cursed. The men crossed the wire. Steel sang. Skin tore. Did you hear that? Her finger rested on the trigger. Not shaking. Never shaking. The forest went still. Too still. She exhaled. And the mountain seemed to lean closer. The scope framed a man's shoulder. Mud on his jacket. Blood already on the wire behind him. Damn fence, he muttered. Anger hiding fear. She smelled gun oil on the wind. Cheap. Unclean. Another man laughed too loud. Trying to sound brave. Failing. Her finger tightened. Not to fire. Not yet. She remembered rules. Then remembered why she left them behind. A branch snapped. Close. Too close. Thought you said nobody lived out here, a voice whispered. Her pulse slowed even more. Training taking over. Cold. Precise. A shadow moved between the trees. Then another. They were inside now. All the way inside. Her radio crackled once. Static. Nothing else. One man stopped. Head tilted. Listening. I don't like this, he said. She felt the mountain under her boots. Solid. Unforgiving. Her breath fogged the glass. She wiped it away with her sleeve. The safety clicked off. Soft. Final. Somewhere below. A man stepped forward. And called out into the trees. Hey, he said. Who's there? She did not answer. Silence pressed down on them. Thick. Heavy. The man shifted his rifle. Metal whispered against metal. Probably just wind, someone said. No one believed it. Her eyes stayed glued to the scope. She saw sweat on his neck. Saw fear trying to hide. The smell of pine mixed with iron. Old blood. New mistakes. Another step forward. A boot crushed a twig. She felt it in her chest. The moment before everything breaks. A memory surfaced. A rooftop overseas. A target breathing hard. Different country. Same feeling. Don't move, one of them whispered. Too late. The man in front raised his gun. Not aiming. Just reacting. Her finger took the slack. Slow. Controlled. The forest seemed to hold its breath. A thought crossed her mind. If I do this, there's no going back. Then she heard the click. Not hers. His. Her jaw locked. Muscle memory woke fully. The crosshairs settled center mass. Perfect. A distant echo rolled through the trees. Not a shot. Something deeper. The men froze. One of them whispered her fence line name. Wrong. She inhaled. Cold air burned her lungs. And just as pressure met resistance, a shape moved behind them. Fast, unplanned, and everything changed in a single breath. The shape broke from the brush. Too low for a man. Too fast for thought. A scream ripped the quiet. Raw. Animal. One poacher spun around. Wild eyes. Fingers slipping. A rifle went off. The crack punched the air. Birds exploded from the trees. She flinched once. Just once. Her scope lost him. Found another. Jesus! Someone shouted. Fear stripped of bravado. The smell changed. Gunpowder. Wet earth. Adrenaline. The shape vanished downslope. Leaves still shaking. Did you see that? No answer. Only breathing. Too loud. She steadied again. Shoulder pressed to stock. Cold steel kissing her cheek. One man dropped to a knee. Hand shaking now. Courage gone. We need to leave, he said. Another voice snapped back. Shut up. She felt something twist in her gut. Not mercy. Not regret. Responsibility. The fence line creaked behind them. Barbed wire humming softly. A boot slipped. A curse followed. Her sight picture cleared. Perfect angle. Clean line. Her finger began to pull. Slow. Certain. Then her radio crackled again. Louder this time. A voice breathed through the static. Low. Urgent. Do not fire. Her finger froze. The voice came again. Closer now. You're not alone. Her heart hit once. Hard. The men below heard it too. Eyes wide. Spinning. Who said that? One shouted. No answer. Only the forest breathing back. She scanned left. Right. Trees that had always been empty. A figure stood uphill. Half hidden. Not armed the way they were. Her jaw tightened. She knew that stance. Old training. Not poacher. Not civilian. The men began backing up. Slow at first. Then faster. We cross private land, someone said. Voice cracking. Another laughed. Hi. Broken. Man, this place is wrong. She felt the weight of the rifle. The weight of every choice before this one. The stranger raised a hand. Not to stop her. To warn them. The wind shifted. Carried the smell of fear downhill. One poacher turned. Ran. The fence sang again. Louder this time. Metal tore. Skin screamed. She sighted through the scope once more. Crosshair steady. Breath held. Below her. Someone fell. And did not get up. She did not pull the trigger. Not yet. The forest swallowed the sound of his fall. No echo. No mercy. The others froze. Staring at the dark shape on the ground. Get him up, one whispered. No one moved. She watched their hands. Trembling. Clumsy. Blood soaked into pine needles. Dark. Fast. The stranger uphill lowered his hand. Slow. Careful. Her eyes flicked to him. A silent question. He shook his head once. Barely. A poacher dropped his rifle. It hit a rock. The sound rang too loud. I didn't know, the man said. Words tumbling over each other. I swear I didn't know. She felt heat rise behind her eyes. Not tears. Something harder. She remembered faces that begged the same way. Different mountains. Same fear. The wind shifted again, carrying the copper smell uphill. Another man backed away. Heel caught the wire. The fence bit him. He screamed. She flinched inside. Once. The stranger stepped forward now. Close enough to be seen. not close enough to be stopped. "Leave," he said. Calm. Final. One poacher looked up toward her ridge. Right at her. For a split second, their eyes met. He raised his gun. Not aiming at the stranger. Aiming higher. Aiming where he thought she was. Her fingers settled fully on the trigger. Pressure building. Muscle memory complete. The mountain held its breath. Time narrowed to a tunnel. She saw the man's eyes. Wide. Desperate. His finger tightened. Wrong angle. Wrong choice. Her breath left her lungs. Silent. The stranger shouted her name. Low. Sharp. That changed everything. Her pulse spiked. Anger flashed hot. How did he know it? The rifle below jerked upward. Barrel hunting. A thought cut through her calm. If he fires, someone dies. Not maybe. Certain. Her cheek pressed harder to the stock. Wood biting skin. The world shrank to the crosshair. Chest. Heartbeat. She smelled burned oil. Old metal. Cold fear. Her finger began the final pull. Smooth. Committed. Behind the man. The fallen body twitched once. A sound escaped the trees. Not a voice. Not an animal. The poacher hesitated. Just a fraction. Enough to make it worse. Her mind whispered one last question. Who am I protecting now? The trigger met resistance. Then started to give. A memory slammed into her. A shot she took years ago. A body that never left her dreams. Her finger stopped again. A hair's width. The man's rifle shook. His breath came in sobs. "I don't want to die," he said. Not to anyone. To the mountain. The stranger uphill stepped closer. Too exposed. Too brave. "Drop it," he said. The poacher laughed. Broken. Hysterical. "You think she won't do it?" Her jaw clenched. Her teeth ached. The wind rushed downslope. Cold. Urgent. It carried her scent to them. Gun oil. Coffee. Old war. The man's eyes widened. He knew now. "She's real," he whispered. The fence creaked again behind them. Slow. Like a warning breath. Her arms burned. Muscles locked. Perfect form held too long. The crosshair danced with his pulse. She felt the mountain under her. Ancient. Watching. The stranger glanced back at her ridge. One look. A plea or a command. The poacher screamed. Rifle jerking up. Her finger finished the pull halfway. Steel sang inside the weapon. And in that frozen instant, before sound, before consequence, before forgiveness, everything balanced on less than a breath. The trigger wall pressed back at her. Firm. Unforgiving. Her vision tunneled. Edges dark. Center sharp. The man's fingers spasmed. Muscle over mind. The stranger shouted again. Too late to soften it. "Don't!" A second rifle slid from the dirt. Someone crawling. Someone not finished. She caught the movement. Barely. Sweat ran down her spine. Cold despite the jacket. The mountain groaned. Wind through rock. Like a warning older than language. The poacher's mouth opened. A word forming. Maybe her name. Her finger trembled for the first time. Just enough to feel it. She tasted copper. Bit her tongue. The scope glass reflected her eye. Hard. Tired. A shot echoed somewhere else. Far. Not hers. Every head snapped toward the sound. The man's rifle swung wildly. No control left. Her body leaned into the decision. Training screaming. Conscience screaming louder. The stranger raised both hands. Exposed. Vulnerable. "Easy," he said. The poacher's finger tightened again. Her trigger finally began to move. The pressure crossed the point of no return. Her heartbeat thundered in her ears. Too loud. The man's rifle jerked upward. Wild. Blind. The stranger took one step forward. Hands still raised. "Look at me," he said. The poacher's eyes flicked away from the ridge. Confused. Terrified. Her finger kept moving. Millimeter by millimeter. The forest seemed to lean in. Waiting. A gust tore through the trees. Pine needles slashed the air. The fence screamed again. Metal on metal. Someone sobbed. She could not tell who. Her shoulders locked. Breath trapped halfway out. The crosshairs steadied on the man's chest. Center mass. No mistakes. A thought cut through the noise. This ends something. No matter what I choose. The poacher screamed her name. Not begging. Accusing. The stranger flinched. Just enough to break the stillness. Her trigger finger tightened fully. And the mountain seemed to fall silent. Right as the rifle answered her touch. The shot cracked the night. Clean. Final. Recoil kissed her shoulder. Familiar. Hated. The poacher dropped. No scream this time. Just weight meeting earth. Silence rushed back in. Thick with smoke. Thick with meaning. The stranger lowered his hands. Slowly. Respectfully. No cheers. No relief. Only wind through needles. Only blood darkening snow. She stayed on scope. Counted breaths. 1, 2, 3. The others ran. Wire tearing. Fear faster than pain. Their footsteps faded downhill. The mountain kept them. She clicked the safety on. The sound felt too loud. Her hands finally shook. Just a little. The stranger looked up to her ridge. Nodded once. "You did what you had to," he said. She did not answer. She packed the rifle. Slow. Careful. Dawn crept between the trees. Pale. Unforgiving. She stood at the fence line. Bit wire. Broken posts. Her land. Her line. Somewhere below. Sirens would never come. She breathed in pine and gunpowder. Let it burn. Then she turned back toward the cabin. Knowing the mountain was quiet again. And knowing it would never be innocent.